So one of the biggest questions I always get asked by many other photographers is why I always choose the Sony branded flashes when I'm using a Sony camera. And I mean, I use their remotes, their flashes. This is the mid-range one, and these are new. This is the 46. The 60 RM Mark II is absolutely phenomenal. I'll use that another day for you. And then the Sony remote. The reason I use it, I'm going to show you in a shoot today because, I don't like TTL, but nobody does it better than Sony. From accuracy to color tones, it just absolutely simply amazes me 90% of the time. It's not perfect. No TTL is ever going to be perfect because of your background, your surroundings, and so forth. But Sony comes the closest to anyone with TTL. Now, whether I use this on camera or use it remotely with their remote, it just works. And the funny thing is it's like, oh, you can get a Godox for this much, or you can get this one for this much. But, the two most important things to me in photography are the lens, for the look I want, and light. And I'm not going to cheap out on light ever. I buy Godox, don't get me wrong, I love them. But when I'm using on camera or remote flashes like this, and I'm using a Sony camera, there's just no better. If I'm shooting all manual, I don't care what I use because I'm controlling it. But even these in manual mode, the color science they use for their flashes, talking to their cameras, it's just incredible. So anyway, I'm going to show you a shoot with this today to hopefully explain and show you what the flash can do and why I choose Sony brand over anything else when I'm using a Sony camera. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll try to explain things as I'm going through the shoot. Thanks for watching as always.
Now, I'm not going to say the full name of this flash throughout because it would drive me crazy, but it's the 46 RM. And when I say it's new, it's their newest. Flash lives, I mean, they're like 10 years, 11 years, if not longer. It's just amazing how long the life of a flash is versus anything else. But this update is actually really good. Number one, I got great battery life out of this. And I'm going to shoot everything in automatic everything. I'm going to put it on aperture priority, but I'm going to shoot auto ISO until the end. But everything else is going to be automatic, the flash and everything. Now, they claim to have skin tones that are fantastic with the flash, and they do. I do get some misses once in a while with the skin tone, but that can be fixed. With the exposure, this thing hits 99% of the time. And in this shoot, you're going to see that I went through light with mixed lighting with the window light, and then I closed the shade. I mean, I'm going through every scenario with this flash you can possibly think of to try to trip it up. From light background to dark background to, dark studio to light studio, and then we go out in the hallway. It's just, it's a matter of like trying to trip up the flash. Now, this is considered their mid-range flash, the 46. The 60 RM Mark II is their high end, and I think that's close to $500 or almost $500. And I love that flash. I will do a video on it. But off camera with their little remote, their remote has never given me a problem. I don't get misfires. Like when I tell you, I just don't get misfires. Now, the new flashes, you can shoot in high speed, not high speed sync, that is obvious, but rapid successions, 10 shots in 2 seconds kind of thing, or whatever the high speed is now. I don't even know anymore, because I don't shoot that way. But I do shoot this flash during the shoot rapidly to show you that it can keep up. I mean, it doesn't miss. So whether I'm hand holding it, which I love, or having it on a stand off camera, it just works. And you'll see this shot, there's the shadow falling behind because I have the flash right right in front of her. But when I hold it off to the side, you'll see the shadow go off to the side. It's just, I love hand holding a flash like that. That's what I'm doing out in the hallway here, and it's a dark hallway. It's a beautiful flash. I don't know what else to say. Now, versus Godox, I don't get me wrong. I love Godox. I love the off-brands. There's no issue with them when I'm shooting straight manual, and 99% of the time I shoot straight manual. But to have this kind of TTL if and when I need it, and to have this kind of reliability with the Sony flashes, especially skin tones, is everything. That's why I stick with Sony. The Sony flashes over anything else. Nikons are decent, and I do love the Profoto, A10s, A1s, B2s, like all of them. But this flash is half the price of the Profoto and beats it. It just hands down, it beats it. I know people have issues with the AA batteries. I use rechargeable AA's, and I went through this whole shoot and had plenty of power left in the batteries. I've done weddings with one set of 4 batteries. They work well. And they have different models of their flash, and it's all the new system. They had wireless prior to this, but the new wireless, the 46, the 60 Mark II, and the 28, I think is the older out of all of them, and that's their little one, and that's 2 AA batteries. They all just work. It's just, as simple as that. And that little 28 is a fantastic flash as well. But I will show you. Now this was rapid succession because I just wanted to see if the flash was going to miss, and it didn't miss one frame. I did up to 20 shots in a row, and the camera was on continuous, and it just worked. Now I'm using the Sigma 28 to 70 and the Sony 50 1.4 G Master because I want to show you that it works with all different lenses, and it's not contingent on the lens. Now this, I threw it in an umbrella because I just wanted to see what it would do in an umbrella. These things just work, and the TTL works perfectly even if I'm bouncing through an umbrella or off the wall. It just works. So that's why I spend a little extra money, or if you will, a lot of extra money on Sony's flash system, because I just never have an issue with it. If you have any questions about this, I'm not an expert by any means with Sony TTL or Sony flash systems, but I know what I'm doing. I could confidently take this to a job, and I do if I'm shooting Sony, and it's going to work every single time. Again, I shoot in manual, but man, if you are stuck and you have to have TTL because of constantly changing lighting conditions at an event or something, this flash is not going to let you down. It's just not. And for me, I like the mid-range one, the 46, because I can throw it on camera or hold it in hand without a problem. Like, it's small enough to do that. The 60 is pretty big. Now, it handles well in the body, but it's still big and heavy. There's no getting around it. I know people like to say, oh, it's well balanced. There's no such thing as throwing a flash on top of your camera and calling it well balanced. It's big and bulky, and it's on top of your camera. That, to me, isn't well balanced. But the 46 is smaller. The 28 for an event with 2 AA batteries, it's not going to recycle quick enough, and obviously it's not going to last as long. So, as much as I love it, if it's a small, short event, it's perfect. Or if I'm outdoors and I just want, a fill flash, the 28 is perfect. But this mid-range 46 is great for events. I just wanted to show you the setup there with the light above her and pointing down in the distance. And that's just a small white umbrella. That's it. It's really, really simple. But I'll leave the link to this stuff in the description below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the shoot. I hope you understand my reasoning for spending a little bit more money on Sony flashes versus third party, because it does make a difference as far as this is concerned. Thanks for watching as always.